me start introducing myself. I am Deborah Tabak. I am the Aliyah promoter in the UK. So I already put my email on the chat. If you ever need to ask any questions about tonight or in general, if you have questions about Aliyah or about Israel and you want to make contact with us, please do. We will have probably a lot of questions about tonight as well, because it's a packed evening with a lot of information, essential information for those who are thinking of doing Aliyah tomorrow, next year, in 10 years. It will be very useful. So we have two speakers tonight. We have Rachel Malachi. We have two Rachels tonight. Rachel Malachi is the director of Aliyah services for English-speaking countries. She will be talking about Aliyah eligibility process and benefits. And then we have Rachel Hamer-Hamesh. She's Aliyah Prep Program Manager and Employment Consulting Manager for Gvahim. And she will be talking about job search via social media and other subjects that are relevant to employment when you're new in the country, and there's a lot to learn about. So over to you, Rachel Malachi.
Thank you, Deborah. Good evening, everyone. I'm very glad to be here tonight. Okay. So like Deborah said, I will be speaking about Aliyah eligibility, the process of Aliyah, and Aliyah benefits. So to start off a little bit about the Jewish Agency, the Jewish Agency has been facilitating Aliyah since before the State of Israel was founded. Since 1948, we have assisted more than 3 million Olim arrive in Israel, and we're happy to continue doing it. So the Jewish Agency is operating in accordance to the Israeli law of return that determines that every Jew is entitled to make Aliyah and receive Israeli citizenship. The definition of a Jew, according to the law of return, is a person who was born of a Jewish mother or converted to Judaism and is not a member of another religion. The law of return also includes the family members of a Jew, that is the child of a Jew, the grandchild of a Jew, the spouse of the Jew, and the spouse of a child and grandchild of a Jew. So if you are Jewish by being born to a Jewish mother or by converting to Judaism, or if you have a Jewish parent, grandparent, or if you're married to a Jew or a child of a Jew or a grandchild of a Jew, then you could potentially be eligible to make Aliyah. Now, in addition to those who are eligible under Israeli law of return, there are also other statuses that the Jewish Agency takes care of. The first status is an Ezrach Oleh, or a citizen born abroad. According to Israeli law, if you were born outside of Israel to at least one Israeli parent, then you're automatically entitled to receive Israeli citizenship. However, if you've never lived in Israel, then the Jewish Agency, together with the Ministry of Aliyah, will assist with your Aliyah process, and you will be able to receive Aliyah benefits, the same as someone who's eligible under Israeli law of return. The second status that the Jewish Agency takes care of is a katin chozer, or in English, a returning minor, someone who was either born in Israel or made Aliyah as a child, left Israel before the age of 14, and is now asking to return as an adult. So similar to someone who was born outside of Israel to Israeli parents, a returning minor would also be already holding an Israeli passport. However, the Jewish Agency, together with the Ministry of Aliyah, will be able to assist someone with that status in making Aliyah and receiving Aliyah benefits, the same as someone who's eligible under the law of return. So those are the statuses that the Jewish Agency takes care of. Now I want to go into the process of Aliyah. So the first step of the Aliyah process is contacting the Jewish Agency's Global Service Center by going into the Jewish Agency's website and filling out a short online form. And once filling out that form, within 48 hours, a representative of the Jewish Agency will contact you to open your Aliyah application and start your Aliyah process. We recommend to start the process approximately 6 to 12 months ahead of your planned Aliyah date, so that you will have enough time to facilitate the process, to get all of the required documentation, and also do all of your planning. Once you've started your Aliyah application, you will receive a username and password to your online Aliyah file, what we call the Aliyah portal. And you will receive a checklist of documents that you are required to upload into that portal. The basic documents that are required for Aliyah are a passport that is valid for at least 1 year from your planned Aliyah date, a civil birth certificate with your parents' names, and a proof of Judaism, which is a letter from a rabbi confirming that he knows you or the Jewish member of your family to be Jewish and born to Jewish parents or a Jewish mother. The fourth document that is required is a criminal background check from every country that you've resided in for at least a year past the age of 14. If you're making Aliyah with minor children and they're over the age of 14, they will also be asked to provide a criminal background check. In addition to these 4 documents, you may also be asked to provide additional documents relating to your personal status, such as a marriage certificate or divorce certificate, or other documents that are relevant specifically to your situation. In addition to those 4 documents, or instead of the proof of Judaism letter, the rabbi's letter, if you've converted to Judaism, then you will be asked to provide your conversion documents. And like I said, after you complete the online questionnaire, you will be asked to upload copies of these documents to the online Aliyah application or Aliyah portal. Once you've completed the questionnaires and you submitted your documents, then we will arrange a face-to-face Aliyah interview with a local Jewish agency representative. At that interview, you will be asked to present your original documents, and you will be asked questions about your Jewish background, your Israeli background, and your plans for Israel, as well as at that interview, if you will be interested in any Jewish agency absorption programs, you will also be able to hear more about that option. After your Aliyah interview, your application will be reviewed by the Jewish Agency's eligibility department, which is based in Jerusalem, and you will receive your Aliyah approval. Once you have your Aliyah approval, which should take approximately 2 to 4 weeks from the time of your interview, then we will assist with issuing your Aliyah visa in your passport. The Aliyah visa is valid for 6 months. During those 6 months, you will need to make Aliyah. Your Aliyah flight is also one of the Aliyah benefits that you will receive from the Jewish Agency. And once you have your Aliyah visa and your passport, you will be able to book your Aliyah flight through your local Aliyah coordinator that you had your Aliyah interview with. So to summarize the process, the first step is to contact the Jewish Agency's Global Center through the Jewish Agency website to start your Aliyah application and provide all the documentation required for Aliyah. Afterwards, you will have your Aliyah interview and your application will be reviewed by the Jewish Agency's eligibility department. You will receive your Aliyah approval and get your Aliyah visa. And at that point, the Jewish Agency will arrange your Aliyah flight to Israel. At the airport, when you arrive in Israel, you will be met by a representative of the the Ministry of Aliyah to receive your OLE certificate, which entitles you to the Aliyah benefits, as well as your first Israeli ID number. You will be provided with health insurance and you will receive the registration form confirming that you are registered with Israeli health insurance upon landing in Israel, as well as a free transportation to your first address in Israel. So that is the Aliyah process. Like I said, we recommend to start the process approximately 6 to 12 months before your planned Aliyah date so that you will have enough time to prepare in advance. So in terms of the Aliyah benefits, like I mentioned, in addition to the free flight to Israel, which will also include 2 pieces of luggage that you get to bring with you instead of just 1, you will also receive absorption basket, which is financial assistance for the first 6 months of your Aliyah. You will receive half of the first payment in cash at the airport upon landing. And later on, the rest of the payments once a month by bank transfer to your bank account. The amount of the absorption basket depends on family size and structure. As I mentioned, upon your arrival in Israel, you will also be registered with health insurance, which will be free for 6 to 12 months. 12 months if you're not working, but as we're here also to discuss employment, then hopefully within 6 months you already have a job and the health insurance will only be free for the first 6 months. Another Aliyah benefit that you will receive is Ulpan or Hebrew studies, which is 5 hours of free Hebrew classes, normally done for 5 hours per day, 5 days a week for 5 months. And there is additional assistance provided by the Ministry of Aliyah if you complete Ulpan within the first 18 months and you feel like you need an extra boost, then you can register for additional assistance from the Ministry of Aliyah. University studies, if you are under the age of 35, you will be able to receive benefits for your university studies in Israel under certain criteria. The changes in between whether you already have a university degree or not, if you have a bachelor's or a master's, but the Ministry of Aliyah does offer to pay for your tuition if you're eligible under their criteria, which is listed on the Ministry of Aliyah website. And like Deborah said, if you would like any more additional, more specific information about the benefits that I'm mentioning now, you can write it down in the chat and I'll be happy to answer it later. Another Aliyah benefit is housing assistance. Olim can receive up to 90% reduction for the municipality taxes for the first 12 months of their Aliyah, or they can choose to receive it during the following 12 months, meaning within 24 months of their aliyah, they can choose to receive 12 months of reduction of up to 90% off the municipality taxes. The Ministry of Aliyah also provides rental assistance that is paid for starting the 8th month of their aliyah, if you don't already own a home in Israel. Also, the amount of assistance changes depending on family size and structure. The Ministry of Aliyah also offers mortgage for a limited sum with some interest rates, although it is important to note that also different banks in Israel also offer benefits for mortgage if you are a new Aliyah. Another Aliyah benefits are tax breaks. Olim can receive income tax breaks for 3.5 years following their Aliyah. And in addition, a 10 years exemptions on reporting on income and assets from abroad. So if you are making Aliyah but still working abroad, you have a 10-year exemption and you will not be asked to pay taxes. There are also tax breaks on purchase tax when purchasing property or a house. Another Aliyah benefit is the shipping benefits, also included in those tax benefits that you can receive. You could receive free tax shipments for up to 3 shipments of your household goods. The tax of shipping you will have to pay for, however, again, you will not have to pay for the taxes. The size of the shipment depends also on your family status, and what is included in those 3 shipments also depends on your family status. Olim can receive Aliyah benefits for cars. Within 3 years of your Aliyah, you can convert your foreign driving license to an Israeli driving license without having to go through the entire process of obtaining a driver license in Israel. You can also use your foreign license for 1 year following your Aliyah. And there are special tax reductions for purchasing a car or importing your car from outside of Israel.
Rachel, thank you so much. We're very thankful to you for sharing all your knowledge, your deep and vast knowledge with us.